Today we will be installing the traditional two-car flake epoxy floor. We're going to do our 5-step install procedure to get the highest quality finished floor we can. We're going to start off by grinding the whole floor. You can see we got our big grinder going all over the main floor. We did a north and a south and east and a west pass. Now we have our hand grinder to get all the edges and corners we couldn't get. And now that the grinding's all finished, we're going to vacuum the floor. We want as much dust off this floor as possible because dust does not create a good bond. So we're going to vacuum it, then we're going to blow it out. And even before we start installing main coats, we're going to wipe the floor too. Well, now that we got the dust all blown out, we're going to install our Thix 05 crack repair. Anytime you're installing epoxy, if you don't do a crack repair, all the control joints or the cracks or the dings and divots in concrete are going to transpose themselves on the finished product of the floor. So that's why we do this before we start putting it on coats. Now we're starting off day 2. We're going to come in and sand all the areas we put the crack repair on to make sure it's smooth and level. And of course, we're going to blow it out to clean it up a little bit. And before we start putting on coats, we're doing a quick wipe down of the floor to settle any of the extra dust remaining. Now we're going to install our prime coat. This is our real first coat, which is step 3. We're going to make sure we roll this on and let it cure and sink into the pores. We're going to come back later in the afternoon and we're going to do the actual pigment and flake coat. This is going to go on top, and this is where we actually throw and broadcast the flakes into the floor. We're rolling this on at 5 gallons for 400 square feet. As we roll it on, then we continue to throw and broadcast flakes into it. We're using about 30 pounds of flake for this floor. Now that that's cured, we're coming back for day 3. We're going to sand the whole floor to get it as smooth as possible before we go into the final top coat. But before we do that, we still have several areas of vertical concrete, which is the cove base. So we're prepping some epoxy, and you can see us going along the edges there. We're running epoxy and running flakes up on that vertically. A little bit more laborious to get the cove base installed, but we do it because we know it's a good look to the finished product. Now we have that done, we do a quick wipe down, and then we install our top coat, which is our polyaspartic UV-resistant top coat. It goes on real quick, you have to move fast. Now to finish everything off, we're going to do a top coat on the vertical surfaces of the cove base and the concrete. So I'm just going around making sure that's all getting epoxied. And of course, that is going to be the finished product. Let's see how it turns out.